So we hear it all the time, right? AI is this revolutionary tool for learning. It can help you brainstorm, summarize articles, explain pretty much anything. But what if the biggest strength of AI is also its most dangerous flaw? Today we're going to dig into why the very thing that makes AI so appealing can be a huge trap, especially when you're trying to, actually learn something. So let me just ask you this. When you're typing in a prompt, are you talking to a genius or are you talking to a really, really confident guesser? Because as we're about to find out, the answer to that question could change everything about how you approach your work. To show you what I really mean, let me tell you a little story. Something happened to me a while back that totally shifted my perspective on how we should be thinking about these incredible new tools. All right, so I was playing around with an AI model and I decided to throw it a real curveball, a super niche topic from my old research in grad school. It's called the Alia Affair. I thought, for an AI that supposedly read the entire internet, this should be a piece of cake. And what happened next was, well, it was fascinating. First, the AI shot back an answer. It was incredibly detailed, filled with names, dates, the whole shebang. It sounded completely authoritative. There was just one tiny problem. It was 100% made up, pure fiction. So I pushed back. I clarified. I said, no, I mean the first medical malpractice case in France. And its second answer, another beautifully written, totally confident, and completely fake story. It was only on my third try, after I basically cornered it, that the AI finally admitted it just didn't have the information. And this is the part you really have to get. The AI wasn't just wrong, it was confidently wrong. It presented a total fabrication with the authority of a textbook. And that's the real danger. It's not that AI makes mistakes, it's that it makes mistakes sound so darn convincing. This whole thing really highlights a critical problem that I like to call the expertise gap. It's the reason why these AI hallucinations are especially dangerous for anyone who's still in the process of learning. Now, think about it, right? The only reason I caught the AI's mistake was because I had spent months of my life digging into this one specific topic for my dissertation. I had the expertise to know instantly that something was off. But imagine you're a student who's just starting out. You wouldn't have that internal fact checker. You wouldn't have that gut reaction. You'd probably just trust the confident answer you were given and move on. And this really gets to the fundamental difference between human experts and AI. Our expertise is built through struggle. We know our own limits. We know what we don't know. AI, though, it's just a sophisticated pattern matcher. It doesn't actually know anything. It's just predicting the next most likely word in a sentence. And that's exactly why its mistakes can sound so incredibly believable. This leads us to why the struggle of learning isn't something to avoid. It's so tempting to let AI handle the hard parts for us. But what we're about to see is that the hard parts, they're actually the whole point. I mean, think about the last time you learned something that really stuck. It probably started with a moment of confusion, right? That feeling forces you to dig in, to double check your sources, to challenge what you thought you knew. You have to try and rewrite the idea in your own words. It's that messy, sometimes difficult process that builds a real, lasting instinct for a topic. And that instinct, it's everything. It's the thing that allows you to tell the difference between what's actually true and what just sounds good. And that critical skill is something you're never going to get just from typing a prompt. So, does this mean you should avoid AI altogether? No, not at all. The key is to be really smart about how we use it. We've got to see AI for what it is, an incredibly powerful tool, but not an infallible teacher. See, once you've put in the effort yourself, once you've built that foundation of knowledge, AI transforms into an amazing assistant. You can ask it to play devil's advocate, to challenge your arguments from a new perspective. You can use it to quiz yourself and check your understanding. At that point, it stops being a crutch and becomes a genuine collaborator. But you can never forget the most important takeaway. Without your expertise to guide it and to check its answers, AI is really nothing more than a powerful, confident guesser. You are the essential human in the loop, and this idea that you're the essential part brings us to our final and maybe most important point. in an age where it feels like we can automate almost anything. You have to ask yourself, what is the part of learning that can never, ever be outsourced? Well, ultimately, it comes down to the process. It's the late nights, the moments of total frustration, that spark of curiosity that sends you down a rabbit hole for hours. It's the sheer effort of wrestling with a tough idea that's not a barrier to learning. That is the learning. That's the part that forges new connections in your brain and fundamentally changes who you are. So, yes, use AI. It's here and it can be useful. But don't skip the learning part. That's the part that actually changes you. That's the part you can't outsource.